I want to be remembered as a father first. I want to be remembered. I did all the possible things to give my family and my son tools for them to inch forward in life. I don't want them to be spoon-fed and give all the things that I hadn't experienced.
All right, so today I am with Randy Lobiano of Radix HR. And it's not public knowledge, but now we're making it public knowledge that he is employee number 2. When we built actually this organization, then EBI Solutions, and it became Radix HR. Right. So today we're talking about the parallelism between fatherhood and you being a leader. Are you game?
G,
G. So, Randy, we've always had this conversation, months and weeks of conversation about certain topics. But today, I really want to pin down certain thoughts fascinated ako about how much of your fatherhood is aligned into you being a leader. I see kasi both sides of you. The question really is there a congruence or alignment between your role as a father and that of a leader? Your thoughts on that?
I guess as a father and as a leader, what makes it congruent or cohesive is that as a father and as a leader, you set the tone, you set the boundaries, know when to be firm, when to support either your child or your team member, your teammates. So I think that makes it as one and easier for me to really embody if I'm in the office. It's sort of my teammates are younger than me.
Correct.
So it doesn't make me feel as a father, but it's more of experience-wise and the wisdom that you can share for my teammates. I get it from me being as a father as well.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I love that. So, fantastic follow-up question on that is which part of you or which part of the qualities that you mentioned just now, which is the alignment between father and leader, is most invoked dun na sa leadership angle mo?
I think there are certain degrees of how am I being a leader and a father. Of course, first and foremost, it's discipline. My son, my 5-year-old son, as early as 2-3 years old, when he was 2-3 years old, you go back to the first question as a leader and a father. You set the tone. What you do is, when you say discipline, it's how you create a habit. I create a habit with my son, especially the values. The simple things of helping me doing our bed once we wake up,
Tama.
once we go to bed, the simple toothbrush, washing the face. So those are when you
Micro habits.
micro habits
No?
that those little things that you create makes a big difference in the long run.
Absolutely.
It's the same doing it on an office situation or scenario. When I go to the office, when I'm having a meeting with my teammate, I'm with them. Or if ever I have let's say a new teammate, it's the same thing. You set the tone, you set the bar, you create a habit, and then that habit makes it like a disciplinary action to what he or she does every day. After that, it's more on accountability.
Wow.
Accountability, you take ownership. I allow my son to make mistakes. I allow my son to fail. It's the same with my teammates. Even with myself, I allow myself to fail at some point. But at the end of the day, if I made that mistake, I own that mistake. So I need to understand, my teammate needs to understand that it's okay to make mistake as long as you take accountability to it. Once you take accountability to it, it makes you progress. It makes you want more. That leads you to success.
Ganda.
So
sounds like a formula already. Parang discipline, accountability, allowance for failure. Parang sounds like already a formula for somebody like to progress bigger and better in one's life.
yes, and then after which, it's supposed to be an open communication because it's a two-way street. It's not me being a leader, I won't listen to my son as a father.
Right.
And as a leader, I won't listen to my teammates. I need to understand where they're coming from, and they need to understand where am I coming from too. So really open communication. After that, I guess respect, but I put it on the tail end because for me, respect should be inborn.
So there's a saying na respect should be earned. In your case, what you're saying to the public is that respect is inborn.
Yeah, for me, respect is inborn. Even you meet a stranger, you should have a mutual respect. But if we're trying to say we need to gain something, it's not respect, but it's another word, which is trust.
Wow, okay.
I can respect you,
Mm.
but I don't know if I can trust you.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you need to build it, or I need to build it on a relationship.
I get that.
So
Right. And alam mo, one of the things that crossed my mind while you were talking about all these concepts is that you, sitting there, you honestly believe, right, that there is truly a congruence or alignment between your role as a father and a leader? Or do you believe that you have distinct qualities and there is no alignment between the two? There is. I mean, I do want to generally get your view that, in your opinion, there is. Because there are a lot of people watching, but they might be asking, why are they even talking about this, right? So, from your perspective, is there really? You mentioned a couple of concepts already, and truly, if I look at it, discipline, accountability as a father, it's going to be there.
yeah,
Also, as a leader, it's going to be there.
as you've mentioned, for me, everything has a formula. You just need to start within yourself, and it would eventually pour out if you have those characteristics that I've mentioned a while back. It cannot be emulated by your teammate or your son if they don't see it coming from you or on
Right.
a first-hand basis.
Right.
So when I say congruent of a father and a leader, there's like it's a 1-2 punch combo for me. Like
Okay.
automatically when I became a father, there's a certain shift of paradigm that I don't know that I am a leader. I'm being a leader na pala
Correct.
in a sense. Your body and mind automatically shifts that, okay, you are now a father. You should know what to do and what is not supposed to be seen by your son. And eventually, it became a habit,
Or a
became
formula.
a formula
Correct, in this case.
in this case, that your teammate see it through to you as well. So I can say it was a naturally, it will just kicks into your system.
It did in your case,
Yeah,
right?
in my
It
case.
did kick
my,
in
yeah,
your system.
in my case.
Wow.
So,
Cool. If, two questions that I still pervasive in my thought right now is that what do you actually want to be remembered? In this life, you only pass through life once, and I know there's a lot of allure to being either a great father or a great leader. But if you were to be remembered by your son, what top 1, 2 things do you want him to remember? And the same goes in your hat as a leader. If you were to look at your team members, how do you want them to remember you by?
I want to be remembered as a father first. I want to be remembered. I did all the possible things to give my family and my son tools for them to inch forward in life. I don't want them to be spoon-fed and give all the things that I hadn't experienced. I will give them the tools so that they wouldn't experience those things,
The hardship,
the hardships,
some of the challenges that you
they
went
say
through.
pain is the best
Teacher.
teacher in life. But
Right.
again, like I mentioned, I want them to feel pain as well. Because for me, life is more on how do you make it on the hurdles of life.
Tama. Not that you don't want them to have to experience it.
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga, as you said, it's a best teacher. But
But they need it because at the end of the day, all you want to my wife, especially to my child, is that at the end of the day, they'll be triumphant. But again, in order for you to reach the top, you need to climb the mountain. And climbing a mountain is not easy.
so that's where the tools that you're saying is
Yeah, you
Father,
prepare,
Yeah.
you create habit, you need discipline, you need
Love
accountability, and all
Love
of that. No, not just, okay, I'm rich, I'll give you everything. Not knowing what's the purpose of life.
But even when you're talking as a father, you're actually exactly talking as a leader as well. Kasi
It's the same
you also
thing.
paved the way for that prep to the journey to the mountain. I mean, you practically ironed out or laid down the formula for them as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me being a leader. I just need to know what type of leader would I be to my teammate. Would I be the leader to push them? So I'll be the leader from behind. Would I be the leader that will walk them to the journey side by side? Or will I be on the forefront? Type of leader.
Right. So since you answered the question of how you want Randall to remember you by, siguro the next question is for your team members.
Mm.
Anybody who has been your team, kasi you have your photography team, you also have your Radix.
Yeah.
So if you were in that state of mind where you want to be remembered of something, ano yun? Like what one or two things would you want them to have top of mind about you?
I guess I'm the kind of person who doesn't want to be relatable to anyone. Yeah, I don't want to be relatable to anyone, but I will be the most authentic person as much as possible. So if my teammate would want to emulate something from me, I will tell them that just be authentic. You don't bend just because you want to be relatable to them.
Wow, huge message. Especially about peer pressure. That's a huge
I
message.
know. So,
Oo.
like, lagi kasi for me, they would always tell me that I'm different. I will just tell them na, oh, pwede I'm different. Pero parang for me, you're just all the same. So, parang, yeah, just be authentic. And me as a person, yon, no? And me as a leader, before you say no, I need to understand, did you look really for some solution? I'm the kind of person who's okay academically. Ibig sabihin, I think the experience that I had is more on the, like, being a street smart or something. Sort of like that.
Right.
So, in terms of looking for solution, yung creativity juice ko always kicks in. As a photographer,
It does.
as a wedding photographer who, like, there's no perfect wedding. You need to always pivot. The plan that you plan for 1 week and then all of a sudden, let's say it rained and 1 week supposed to be sunny. So you need to pivot on that day. And then me as a part of HR industry and a leader of Radix, pivoting with intentional solution and well-thought process, that's where I want my teammate to, kung meron silang kokopyahin or to emulate from my end.
Love that. Love that.
Authenticity and solution identification.
Love that. Love that. And he practically mouthed the role. So he used to be global lead for talent acquisition and will still continue to be that human being behind TA, but we do have somebody highly capable in the Philippines to lead that. He's wearing a new hat, which is a solution identification and pricing lead for Radix HR. So, salamat.
Maraming salamat, Marie.
Salamat, Randy.
Pagpalain ka.
Lalo ka na.